Hi, this is Alexandra with Divine Reconnections, talking about how to change your behavior. What are the ways you can change your behavior, right? We all kind of going through a period right now where we're wanting things to change. We're not necessarily happy with the way things are progressing in our lives, and we are just wanting change. And I can totally relate with that, especially with the business and being a solopreneur and wanting things to be different. I can certainly kind of feel what everybody else is feeling. And, I'm going through my own type of inner work that I'm doing to kind of get the momentum moving, to get things moving. And so I thought about, putting and really helping others get through what I'm getting through, because I know we're all going through change. Like I said, we're all kind of going through this same type of behavior. One thing that change can do is it gets us really frustrated, right? We get really frustrated. It can really depress us, right? Especially if we're feeling stuck or we're wanting something different or wanting some momentum. It's easily to go down the rabbit hole and let the scarcity of it, the scarcity of the situation, let it get you depressed, let it get you paralyzed, right? It's easy to get paralyzed and not want to do anything, right? Because you get into a place where you're just waiting for something to crack, so that ways you can get some momentum, something can change, something can come in. Totally get the emotions behind it and feeling the emotions. And it's so important to feel the emotions when you're wanting something to change and nothing is happening. You're wanting to recognize, what are you feeling? Is it frustration? Is it stress? Is it anger? Is it sadness? Is it depression? Really connecting to that space. A lot of times when we want change, going within and doing the inner work is so important, to be able to really connect to what you're feeling, what the emotions are. Really kind of ask yourself subconsciously, okay, what is blocking me from this change? Really understanding, listening to what that is, listening what is coming up. That self-connection is so important. And doing that kind of, tip number one, doing that self-connection, doing that inner work, connecting to yourself to see what is there, what's been going on that may be tripping you up, that may be tripping up the change, and letting your body, letting all of that subconscious, letting your guides and your angels really bring that information to you so they can help be able to piece together what's going on. Tip number two is a great thing to do, and I love to do them recurringly, is forgiveness letters. Forgiveness letter to myself for whatever's going on, right? Whatever has led to that point of change for me, that I want that change in my life and that it hasn't happened. Hasn't happened the way I wanted it to. It hasn't happened at the timing I needed it to be. It hasn't brought the quality or the quantity of the change that it needed to be, and really sitting with that letter and just forgiving yourself for whatever think you've done or whatever think you have not done, and recognizing where you're at in that place and where you're at in the moment, because forgiveness letters really energetically also kind of break whatever story, right? It helps kind of pull the thread on whatever story that has led to the change, the desired change. And it lets you be able to let go of whatever negative energy, heavy energy, dark energy, however energy you connect to it. It lets that finally start to move. It starts to let it bubble and starts to come up, and then it lets you energetically allow it to move so that the change and the momentum and the shifts can start happening. Tip number three is really defining what the change should be, right? You need to get very crystal clear is what is the change? What does it need to look like? What I want it to look like? How should it be? Really just putting that visual together, right? Putting that visual of what the change needs to look like. What does it incorporate? Who are the players? What are you doing? Really getting crystal clear with the details and really designing that change and what it looks like and getting clear. And then the next tip really is then after that, once you design it, is to build a vision board with it. Put a vision board together. And, vision boards are so powerful in the aspect of being able to not only manifest it, but really almost rewiring the brain and rewiring the subconscious to believe this is my new reality. This is what's in my life. This is my new reality. This is my level of acceptance. And this is what I want. in my life now, right? And by having a vision board that you stare at all the time and that you see and that you connect to, it really helps to bubble that level of energy, right? It starts to bubble that level of manifestation for you. And it starts to be a reality because you start to think, oh, what would I do if I had this change? What would I do if I was in this change? What would be the next phase of my life? And you would start really thinking like that. And then the brain starts thinking, oh, okay, this is the new path. This is the way we're going. So we're going to start putting things and people and situation opportunities in our place. That's going to start bringing in this change that she's speaking of now. That's why vision boards are so powerful. And then other things, another tip that you can do once you do the vision board is really visualize. Visualize those things happening. Visualize that change happening. Visualize you being in that change. Visualizing those things coming to you or those opportunities coming to you. Are you running into the people that you need to, that maybe can help with this change? Like really in your mind's eye, seeing it and seeing that reality as if it's here, it's existed, it's done, it's come in. Taking that time to really visualize it, because the more you can do that, the more that manifestation energy will come in and the more that situation or the change will start to present itself, right? You'll start to run into people that are part of that equation of the change. Maybe it's finances will start to shift and something comes in. Maybe it's an opportunity that comes in. Maybe it's an complete new idea. If it's a career, it may be where all of a sudden you run into someone that leads you in that direction. It could be you coming across a career position that you're like, wow, this is what I've been looking for. If it's people, if it's relationships, you'll start to meet people, right? If it's one particular relationship, you'll start to meet people that are connected to kind of that end point. And then you'll start to meet people that will actually take you to that end point of that person you want to meet. So many possibilities with visualization that can actually work the more you do it and the more you kind of take that subconscious change reality into your conscious change reality. So that way it can start manifesting and bubbling and start coming forward in a form of a shift for you. And speaking it is so powerful too. Speaking is just as powerful as closing your eyes and visualizing the change that you want, the change in your life that you want. So speaking it as if it's here. I like to use affirmations a lot. I love to say, my health is better than I ever expected. My finances are better than I ever expected. My business is thriving and is better than I ever expected. And especially when you're in a place of lull and you're heavy and you may be depressed, speaking those affirmations can really raise that positive juju, right? It can really raise that serotonin, the serotonin levels in your body, and it can take you out of that heavy place. It can take you out of that place of scarcity or lack or stuckness by saying those affirmations, saying, I'm so grateful for that change happening in my life. I'm so grateful that this change has finally presented in my life and it's happened today. Or next week. I'm so grateful for running into this person that has been able to connect me to a piece of my path, my soul's journey, my path, right? Saying those affirmations continuously really, again, starts to rewire the brain. It starts to rewire the brain, and the brain starts to think, okay, this is not in my subconscious. This is really in my conscious now. So let me start manifesting it. Let me start putting it in reality. And so you really can start to visualize and really start to pick up the energy, so that way your body feels like it's true, right? Your body feels like it's, no, this is my reality, this is my truth now. And being able to speak it and say it on a continuous basis really starts to affect the body. The body really does change to adapt to that affirmation, adapts to that positive gratitude. And then your brain starts to adapt to it, and then the subconscious energy and the conscious energy starts to adapt to it, and that change starts to really take form. And you start to really see it happening. I see it all the time in my energy work, in my transformation work. I see it, how quickly people can transform things into place, how quickly people can come into your existence literally right after a session, right? Or right after they do some sort of inner work. It's boom, it's right there. So it can be very quick if you really are desiring to really get some momentum and really get your life to change, or something to change in your life. But it does take those forgiveness letters, getting really clear about the change, doing your visualization work, doing your gratitude list, doing your affirmation list, building that vision board so you can really see that change all the time and getting really crystal clear of where you're heading. Because if you can do that, then if you can do that, and then you can do the inner work, whether it's energy healing, meditation, taking time and doing your gratitude list, affirmations, and visualization on your own. All of those things are so important in taking that change, that desired change, and bringing it into reality. And so hopefully that gives you, for those that are kind of sitting in that same place like me, wanting something new, ready for some momentum to happen, maybe this is what you need to hear to get yourself motivated, right? To get yourself in this scarcity or lack or stuckness place, to get things moving and knowing that it's possible. Thank you for listening. Talk to you soon.